This week, I felt like making a 2D game, MemeS. It's a very difficult platformer game where the player has to go through the internet world and fight against things you will find on the internet. And that's just the basic concept of the game. I immediately created an empty project in Unity to get started. I then generated a character in Creature Mixer by Kenny. By the way, in case you are unaware of Kenny, they provide excellent quality assets for free. A lot of assets that you'll be seeing in MemeS are actually from Kenny. I then got a simple movement and shooting system done. Regarding the shooting system, I made it so that the player can either hold or rapidly tap the shoot button. If you're holding the shoot button, you're firing about 6 times per second. So if the player is able to rapidly tap faster than 6 times per second, then theoretically they're getting an advantage. Obviously, if you're tapping at this speed, it's likely that it's going to be harder for you to control the character. I figured making this system would make the game enjoyable to experienced players. After that, I roughly designed a map which serves as a quick tutorial. Later, I actually had to expand this map as I added more mechanics throughout the development. Once all the basic systems were in place, I immediately started working on the boss fight. This is actually the main reason why I started working on this game. I wanted to make a challenging 2D boss fighting game. I started adding various patterns, for instance a laser that shoots in 4 directions or an attack that would restrict players' movement temporarily. Then I realized the game became too difficult. A lot more difficult than I initially wanted to be. I thought of adjusting the difficulty by adding more delay between the enemy attacks, but I just left it as is. I kind of realized the game isn't going in the direction that I originally wanted to go, so at this point I gave up making a normal game. I decided to add a jetpack mechanic that would allow the player to move freely in the air. This definitely made dodging boss attacks a lot easier. Without the jetpack, the player occasionally had no way to dodge the lasers. Additionally, I added stamina so that players aren't able to indefinitely stay in the air. That was it for the basic systems. Apart from that, I quickly made an enemy. The main purpose of the enemy was for the tutorial. Now it was time to polish the game and have it ready for the release. I made the main menu and added some free-to-use music and sound effects. When the game was somewhat playable, I asked some of my friends to play the game.
Let's play this awful game then. Platform controls are so bad.
Oh my god, these are annoying.
Besides the game being bad, my intention with the game is to annoy the players. I guess it worked out well. Plus, it seems like there were complaints about my selection of controls. I've set the attack on A key and the jetpack on the S key. When you're pressing the A key to shoot, it can be difficult to hold S simultaneously to stay in the air.
These binds are the worst part about the game.
The controls are just as awful as the gameplay.
Additionally, the dashing attack that the boss performs seems to happen a bit too fast for people to react. The boss actually pulls back in the opposite direction before the boss performs the dash, so players are able to roughly calculate where the boss will dash to. However, from the feedback I've gotten, it seems like the pull back before the attack doesn't seem to be enough.
No. This pattern is the most annoying one. Flying attack. It's impossible to dodge, it's just RNG.
Apart from that, they've enjoyed the art style and music of the game.
Oh, the art style's pretty fine by the way, like it's fire, not gonna lie. Oh, music's pretty slick. Did you make it yourself?
Except, those are the things I haven't made on my own. Eventually, both of my friends were able to beat the game. It took about 30 minutes for both of them to complete the game.
Come on! Ooh, eesh, eesh.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. No, let's go, let's go. No, let's go, let's go. No, no, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Yes, finally. Yes, yes. Ah, finally.
And last but not least, it seems like they also enjoyed a small feature I added in the main menu.
That's a nice effect. I'm assuming it's just the same color as the background, so... I'm hating this already.
Why?
Considering how hard the game is, I'm definitely interested in finding out if you're able to beat the game or not. I've uploaded the game on itch.io. Because I was working on this project besides Project Terminal, I couldn't get much things done within just a week. For instance, I originally wanted to add more enemies or bosses to the game as well as different maps. Perhaps I'll make a sequel video and continue to work on the game. This has been Semicoder. I kind of know how to code.